Hi everybody, welcome back to Human Biology, and we are in week 4. I'm Professor Gustin, and before I go too far, I just wanted to give you a public service announcement. When you email me, please use your CCC, your Corning Community College email. I get a lot of emails from people outside of the college, but I want you to get in the habit of looking at your Corning Community College email like every day or two, between communications I might have for you that you don't expect, or communications through the college. There's a lot of times information comes directly from the college that needs to go to you, and your CCC email is the place where they find you. If I'm wondering, did you email me about something, or I'm looking for something that you emailed me about, I'll search your name and I can find that in my CCC email. I can't always find that if you use a different email from outside of the college. So professionally, get used to using your professional emails for your professional things and your personal emails for personal things. So that would be a big help. So meanwhile, we're on week number 4. We have exam number 4 this week. And the topic for lectures, tissues, organ systems, and homeostasis. Oh, there's some lipid cells, some fat cells, adipose. So you have the video. You'll notice the very first thing I have here is exam number 1. First thing to notice, it requires Respondus lockdown browser and webcam. So you should have by now checked out Respondus and made sure that it worked on your computer. Remember that I set Respondus so you can take the quiz as many times as you want. Our Respondus practice quiz, which was over here in week 2. You can go back to that quiz and take it as many times as you want without changing your grade that you already got. And just to make sure that your device is working, your computer's working on Respondus. We talked a little bit about people with Chromebooks and whatnot, all the issues related to that. Remember that there are some computers in the library that have, in the Learning Commons, that have Respondus on them. And if you let me know that you want to use one of those, I can help you find it. Either that, or you can walk right in the Learning Commons and ask somebody. Keith Ward is head of the Learning Commons. He'll know where they are. Remember, the Learning Commons hours they're not open on the weekends, and they close at either 4 or 6 p.m. depending on the day of the week. So plan ahead if you're going to use a college computer. So the exam number 1, right now is week number 4. Exam number 1 is on lecture material from weeks 1, 2, and 3. The week 4 material will be on exam 2. So you'll notice that material's down here. I think the best thing to do is do exam number 1 first before you do your lecture material. So what's the exam look like? How do you study for it? The exam is a whole bunch of multiple choice questions. And remember, from starting, from the beginning of the semester, everything that you've done, you've been able to have your assignment, your books open, your notes open. You could try those lecture assignments, that lecture activities, the ones with the adaptive learning. You can do those without your notes, but you can always open those and look at notes. But you really need, this exam is really going to test your memory. So you've got to commit some of this to memory. How do you do that? Go to your study guide, open it up, and look at the learning outcomes. And it asks you, describe something, state something, explain something. All of those learning outcomes are things that I'm going to test you on in the quiz. So when you're studying, go to your lecture study guide, read those learning outcomes, try to say the answers out loud. If you don't know the answers, look them up in your notes or go back to your textbook and look them up. But you need to be able to do that. Saying it out loud can really help. The other thing you want to do is go down that vocabulary. I can't tell you the number of times I look at a question on a test and realize, that's just this multiple choice question is just a fancy way to ask you the definition of something. Just knowing the definition of a lot of words will get you a lot of questions correct on the test. So practice your vocabulary. Go down your vocabulary list. Say the answers out loud. I'm saying say it out loud because that builds other connections in your brain, not just rattling around in your brain, but it allows you communicating. It will help solidify your memory. The other thing that solidifies your memory is to practice over time and to learn over time. As you do your review, you study, you practice, and then you go through your day, you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, and you do it again. That period of sleep helps solidify our memories. So a lot of people like to, cram. I'm going to study as much as I can, then I'm going to take the test really fast. They don't remember this information. And I know a lot of you are taking this for prerequisites, a lot of people for nursing or other healthcare courses. So you really do need to remember this information. You're going to hear it again, and you're going to use this information professionally. So you want to remember it. So study one day, go to bed. Study the next day, go to bed. Give yourself some time to let this process. Let's see, Respondus. We already mentioned a little bit about Respondus, where you can find it. Please make sure that you show your whole work area and that I can see you during the time that you're taking the test. I will take off points if I have any questions about are they really there? Are they taking it? Why can't I see their face? You need it lit well enough that I can see you, and I need to be able to look at that video and tell that it's you and that you're taking this. So you're going to take exam number 1, and then once you do that, you're going to do the lecture study guide. So we have a lecture study guide on tissues, organ systems, and homeostasis. There's a bunch of videos like we've had before, and a lecture assignment, an adaptive learning assignment on McGraw-Hill. You will notice that there's no lab. I have no lab because I really want you to spend time studying for exam number 1. It is common in past classes for 50% of the class to get an A, B, or C, and 50% of the class to get a D or an F. And when I look down what people are getting wrong, there's no one topic that's harder than others. It's just kind of uniform. And what that tells me is that people just aren't studying enough. If you study enough, you can get a good grade. The material in this course is not particularly challenging. A lot of this you've heard of before. You might have got it in a biology class in high school. The problem is there's a lot of it, and you have to commit it to memory. So respect that, put the time in, and do well on this first exam, and that'll set you up really well for the rest of the semester. So don't just say, oh yeah, I think I know that. Say your answers out loud. Talk to yourself. If you have kids, get your kid to read you the learning outcome or the vocabulary word, and you tell them the answer. Little kids in particular love to help parents get ready for tests. So I'm going to leave you at that. See if I had anything else that I wanted to tell you. I don't think so. I guess the only other thing I can think of is if we did something in lab that we didn't do in lecture, it's not going to be on the test. A lot of lab will reinforce the lecture material, but not every single thing. So lab is supportive, but I write the tests from the lecture study guides. Please reach out as always if you want to talk or there's anything you think I can help you with. And good luck this week. Don't put it off till the end of the week. Do it. Do it. Do it. Take care. Bye-bye.